guys, welcome back to another episode of Nope, Still Not Famous. I am so happy that you guys enjoyed the last video about YouTube and analytics and monetization. A lot of people were commenting that they learned a lot from the video and even downloaded some of the tools that I talked about. That's what this whole series is supposed to be about. I'm trying to help you in any way that I can and tell you just what I know. So I'm going to be holding my laptop for a good chunk of this video, and the fan is kind of loud, so I apologize. I don't want to mess up what I'm about to say. This video is going to be about email templates because on my second video about the Indie Bible, Dream Katari commented that this is exactly what he was looking for. He wanted more about the email template I discussed, so I said that I was going to talk about that and give him a shout out. So Dream Katari, this is for you, and I hope that this helps you. For the email template, once you kind of have an idea of what you're doing for the first one, they all kind of come easy. I've made a bunch of email templates. You guys saw that I went to the UK to tour, and I made a whole email template that reached out to promoters, bookers, and venues. I also, in Buffalo, made a whole email template for my solo project to try to play in local venues, and another one with the band and the duo. The one that I showed you in the Indie Bible video was about music submissions. All my email templates are kind of the same. They have the same basic format, but I'm just going to really quickly kind of brush through what I made sure to include in there. Okay, so I'm going to start with the music submission email template, a little bit more in detail than what I did in the Indie Bible video. The person wants to know what you look like, who they're talking to. They want to put a face to the name. So that's why I started off with my Lexxi Raine Fun While It Lasts picture. I created that in Canva. So just a little bit of my image. They see that the pink is what I go after. They see the type of font I use. They see my design. I think in the very first 2 lines of the email, you really have to be succinct and what is your aim of this email? Don't make them fish for it down in the 3rd paragraph. Tell them right away. I want to submit my music to your blog for a feature or review. Very quick. And you know what? If the person says immediately, I'm not taking submissions, or I'm retired, they just close out the email. A lot of this is beefing yourself up, but also beefing them up. You gotta boost their ego because you're gonna be talking a lot about yourself in this. So right off the get-go, tell them why you like them, why you want to work with them, what's so special about them. For the music submissions, I immediately put all my links. And like I discussed, some places didn't want links to Spotify or SoundCloud. They just wanted a link to your Google Drive. So again, I catered what that blogger wanted. That's the next thing that they're going to see. That's the next paragraph. Then I give myself a little bit of a bio. I described what my music was, how old I was and where I was from, just some background information. And then this is where I beefed myself up a little bit. I talked about the press that I was in, what blogs I've been featured on, any awards that I've won, because now you get to your criteria. Why do they want you? What can you help them with? I didn't brag about how many Facebook likes I had or how many followers, but I said that if they do feature me or talk about me, I'm going to share that everywhere. And I've always been true to that. I immediately share it on my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook. I'm sharing it in my stories. I probably spam them too much with how much I tag them, but they decided to put me on their website. The least I can do is put them on everything I have, and so people can possibly go follow their page and like them. You got to help each other out. And then to close out the email for the music submissions, I talked about the PDF that I included. Now this PDF is an electronic press kit. I made it into a PDF form because I thought that'd be a lot easier for someone to open up in an email attachment. So I started with a Word document, and again I put my logo, my album name, and my tagline, "Will you be my distraction?" in the very top. I tried to make it very professional looking. I wanted them to see the best parts of my music career right off the get-go. So I put the social media in the top left. What I've learned for emails or PDFs is that there is a way for you to right click on the link and just name it whatever you want, but that kind of looks like a virus. So I always kept the full URL, and I just kind of labeled what it was beforehand so people know it's not a virus. You can see it's going to lead you to Facebook or YouTube or whatever. The social media was obviously number 1 because you want them to click that link and go listen to you like stat. You want them to be just completely interested in what you are. I put some of my photo shoot photos. Then I talked about my music platforms. Now these were actual links that I changed. I did not keep the URL because it just didn't look very nice. So I just listed exactly where my music was and every single thing. I did spend a lot of time on this Word document because adding things into 2 columns was just not easy. I had to buy Microsoft Office for this whole project because I was using a free program and it wasn't worth it. So I spent the money on Microsoft Office. I love my very first music video, What the Lonely People Do. I think it is the most professional thing I've ever done, and I wanted them to know that it is out there. They don't necessarily have to watch it, but it's there. So I took the thumbnail from that video, I put it on the top of the right column. I listed what it was and when it premiered, and it's a clickable link, so hopefully people would see, like, not the fact that I'm in lingerie on a bed, but mostly like, oh, this kind of looks like a nice video, so I'm gonna click on it and see what it's about. I talked about who I am. I made a little about the artist section. I know I put my bio in the email template, but I also wanted them to have it on this PDF, just in case they forgot, or they're gonna send it to someone else, maybe in the building of the company that they work in. And this was hard. It's hard to just narrow who you are in 3 sentences. On my website, I have a very long, like, multiple paragraph who I am. So I just took some of the best parts from that and I put it into this email, very short paragraph, just to keep them interested. I talked about where I was from, when I started music, and all the albums that I've created. I'm up to 3 now, 1 with the band and 2 solos. So I just wanted them to know, like, I'm not a newbie. I've been doing this for a while. I'm not famous yet, but I know what I'm doing. I've talked about Fun While It Lasted a lot, and the whole point of the album was that it's 7 songs, all about love, but different aspects. So falling in love, getting back together with an ex, seeing someone trying to take your boyfriend, loving yourself more than anyone else, and realizing that relationships aren't always worth it. So in the About the Music, I talked about what this album was about. So again, to keep them interested. Maybe they see Fun While It Lasted, they say, oh, that's a cool image, you know, it's a cool brand, but what is it about? I don't want to listen to all 7 songs right away if I'm not going to be interested. So I liked putting that right underneath, and I tried to make it, like I said, as professional as possible. So I'm really proud of how it looked, and at the very end, I said want to taste, because it's an ice cream cone and it's melting, and ice cream cones are yummy and you want to taste them. So do you want to taste of the album? All 7 songs go straight to YouTube from this page. I made sure that they all worked. I sent it to my mom to make sure that the PDF opened up okay. Yeah, I'm really proud of how this looked. I called it a 1 sheet. Some people don't know what EPK stands for. I made it look as professional as I possibly could, and I'm not technologically advanced or anything. I mean, I had to research what this was supposed to be. I looked at a bunch of EPK formats online, and I just did the best I could, and I have been complimented on it. Now, back to the email. Like I said, the very last paragraph, I describe what this 1 sheet is. I want them to know it's not a spam virus or whatever. Like, it's a legit thing, and you'll figure out who I am faster than me replying to your next email. So then, of course, I end it with my email and my phone number, and I end it with the logo one more time. So it's not a very long email, but by the time they get to the bottom, I want them to remember, wait, who is this girl? Oh yeah, the ice cream cone, Lexxi Raine. So that is my music submission email template. I put a lot of work into it, and I think it's done me good so far. So I would say if you want to kind of follow my template, it's not the worst idea, and you can make it your own. You can add whatever you want. Now let me find a email template for my tour to the UK. This is kind of my booking template, whether it was to the UK or the tour that I have not released yet where I'm going, and also my Buffalo places. It's the same kind of format, you know. I start off with my picture. I want them to know who I am, what I would be bringing to the venue if they allow me to play. I talk about where I'm from if I'm not from the area, so I start off by saying I'm from Buffalo, New York, and then I mention when I'm going to be in their area. I talked about how I read really great reviews, and this wasn't just fluff. I actually did Google the place. I looked at the reviews on Facebook. I wanted to make sure that I would fit in with this venue. I didn't want to just, you know, waste my time and theirs as well. I describe my criteria for playing. If it was a local show, I said that I had my own PA system. But for these, obviously, I said that I was going to be playing acoustic. I had 3 to 4 hours of original and cover songs available to play. I have some credentials, and I would love to play at your place. I also attached my cover set list, and my cover set list is different than me and Rich's cover set list, which is different from the neighbor's kids' cover set list. Depending on where I was applying, I had to put the right attachments there. A couple times I did accidentally send the wrong cover set list, and I thought, well, I just screwed myself over because now it looks unprofessional, now I didn't do it the right way. And said that I just really want to play. I don't even need the money, I just want the exposure. I want to bring my musical career to England. And I did attach a link of me playing from YouTube, just so right off the get-go they can see how I perform live. The last email template that I had, like I said, is for local venues. Kind of the same thing. I just included more links with me and Rich or me and the band. I would attach a different cover set list if it was all of us, and you know, I would mention that I've been here a couple times, I've seen my friends play here, and I play a lot in the area, and I would even list the places, the local places that I've played. And I'll spend hours on the email template. I will craft it perfectly to whatever the goal is, and then I will actually let like someone proofread it, like my mom or something. I just like having someone else's thoughts, because if it's your email template, that's what you're using for a long time, you know. Like, it's really important to make sure that you do it the right way the first time, and don't have any typos. That's why I do it in a word processor, and then I create it into a PDF, or I drag it into the email. Email templates have saved my life. I've applied to 500 different record labels and bloggers and radio stations. I have probably submitted to at least 200 places in England, to at least another 100 for the next place I'm touring that I cannot say yet. At least 100 venues in Buffalo and the surrounding areas, so it's so convenient to have an email template. It makes your life a whole lot easier. And I hope that you guys can follow mine or take a little bit of it and make it the rest your own. When I was Googling how to make an email template, it was kind of frustrating because I couldn't find what I was looking for. So now that mine are out there, it can help you to create your own. I didn't expect to talk about the electronic press kit in this one, but once I started talking about it, I realized that maybe it's not as complicated as I thought. Creating it wasn't easy, but now that you see it with all the clickable links, I hope that you had a better idea of what an electronic press kit is. If you do want me to further elaborate, I will, because like I said, briefly talked about the email template in the Indie Bible video that I made, and I didn't think anyone was going to be interested. And then he said, like, I would love to know more about that. That is what this whole series is about. If I don't talk about something enough, please tell me. I hope I don't make them too choppy. I try to script what I'm about to say, but sometimes I hate the way that I say I and because I'm like, and it's so nasally, and then I'm like, what am I supposed to say next? So I'm sorry, I try not to talk too much or too fast or to chop myself up too much in post. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I do not know what the next video is going to be about, actually. I have not looked through my 100 flashcards. So please like the video, comment what you thought, if there's something you want me to elaborate on, and subscribe if you don't already do, because I'm almost at 1,000. I'm really excited. I talked about that in the last video. I hope you guys liked this, and I will see you on the next episode of Nope, Still Not Famous. Have a good weekend, guys.